embarrassing.
No. Everybody loved it. It was cool. I want to say as well, when I heard you guys were making a second film, I was very excited to see that you were choosing to stick around in Australia because I'm sure many doors and opportunities open for you guys. But I would love to know what was it that made you want to stick to storytelling here in Australia?
We're Australians. And it always feels really nice to come home, and the environment is safe and it feels supportive. And it feels so awesome to bring stuff back here. It feels like such an honor. And we love the crew that we work with. A lot of them from Talk to Me came on to bring it back. And yeah, we just feel very honored to be able to do it here.
Yeah, I think it's, there was a lot of opportunities up for Talk to Me. We were so blessed to be, there was so many avenues to go down. But you got to do a movie that's from the soul, and you got to put your whole heart and soul into it. And this felt like the right movie. So, there was amazing offers, but here in Australia is where we want to do it.
And this film feels even more personal than Talk to Me. Like, could you talk about, I guess, like, putting more of yourselves into something and more of your perspective?
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. What's going on with you? I think that when you're writing anything or you're doing any sort of art, you've got to put a bit of yourself into it. And like, especially when you're writing a horror film, you're tapping into memories that make you uncomfortable, or things that are off-putting, or like anything that's like hard to talk about. You put it into this, and then you sort of exercising those demons, and you're not carrying it with you anymore. Yeah, and I feel like that makes the best art, is to be as personal as possible.
Yeah, I mean, it really does. This film really emotionally resonated with me. I did feel horrible after seeing it for the first time, but in the best way possible. I've seen it 3 times now, so I think that speaks for how much I love this film. And I think partly of what it is the emotional resonance really works because you have these great actors grounding everything in very real space and very real stakes beyond just the horror. And chief among them in this film is this remarkable performance from Sally Hawkins. I never expected to see one of Mike Leigh's favourite actors, or the mum from Paddington, to be in a film made by you guys. Can you talk about casting her and then directing her and working with her?
Well, she was at the top of the list, and our producer Samantha Jennings was like, you really should look at Sally Hawkins closely. And we'd seen a bunch of a couple of her films, but when I really went down the rabbit hole and like checked out her filmography, every time she played a character, she was completely different. And the idea of her embodying something like this, and it was like I've been inspired by those Sarkibidi films from like the 60s and the 70s, where like these really renowned actors don't have to play it realistically at an 8. They can hit emotions at a 10 because such extreme things are happening. And
we thought there'd be no way she'd say yes.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Yeah, but she read the script and she loved it, and we got on a Zoom call with her, and she was so down to earth, and she connected with the material, and she brought apart every part of the character, and she picked up these little nuances that no one else had reading it. So it just felt perfect. And we asked her, do you want to do this with us? And she said yes, which was incredible.
Yeah, and it's sort of like...
and then we took a ding-dong dashing.
We did do that as well, yeah.
Around the streets of Adelaide?
We did, yes. Someone has footage of Sally Hawkins ding-dong dashing at 2 a.m.
Wow, well hopefully that will be the for your consideration clip with next year's Actor Awards. I really love how you direct like young actors, and I think like the great discovery of this film is its lead Piper, played by Sora Wong. Remarkable performance.
Yes, I think she
Is she tonight in this cinema?
Sora, stand up!
Round of applause.
Yes, Sora Wong is here.
Round of applause.
Sora, it was the most heartwarming thing, because she was sort of thinking that maybe she couldn't do it or couldn't pull it off. And she so fucking did. And it was so amazing to see you in Hollywood with a standing ovation. It was like, it warmed my heart. We love you, Sora. You did so well. Yeah.
I guess the final thing, because these people are about to experience this film for the first time, is there any final words you want to pass on to them to like hold into their hearts, keep in their minds as they start seeing the film?
We wanted to commit to a different energy. Sorry? Yeah,
No, please.
We wanted to commit to a different energy, for our second movie. So it's very different from Talk to Me. It's still a horror film, but it's a lot more personal. It's a lot more personal film. It was a really hard movie to make. It was a very difficult movie to make. And you always... There are times when you second guess yourself. There's some days where you're confident as ever, and then some days where you're second guessing everything.
I was never confident as ever.
Yeah, okay. But there was a time in the edit where it felt like it wasn't going to come together at all. And I remember crawling up into a ball thinking, because there was so much pressure, it's going to be another movie with A24, and I was like, this is impossible to pull off. But Danny, you showed a strength when I didn't have it in those moments, and it's fuck you. No. Yeah, no, I appreciate that you showed strength when I couldn't have. I have to say that out loud. But yeah, it's such a personal movie, so it's so painful to be showing it to people.
There's scenes that we cried while directing. There's like a scene in a pool shed where we cried while directing it.
Sucks.
And even sucks. And even like it was hard looking at the footage sometimes. Like it was because we'd lost someone right at the start of pre-production. So it was just a tough process and a tough thing to make. And we appreciate the crew and the cast of like supporting us as well and having our backs. And we love you all.
Wow. Round of applause. Round of applause. It's a really beautiful movie. I'm so grateful to share it with you guys here tonight. It opens this Thursday. I'd say enjoy the film, but I hope it just freaks you the frick out. So enjoy it and tell your friends it comes out this Thursday. Thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. Round of applause to the boys.